Welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. My name's Mark, and this little guy here walking away from me is Fernando. I'm actually wearing his shirt, Flirt Like Fernando, because Fernando is a huge flirt, especially to humans. He doesn't care too much for his kind or other animals, but he loves people. So we are now complete the Avery, the bird Avery, the enclosure. So I had mentioned this in previous videos that the old section was going to be revitalized. And we started out the whole thing with building this with racking from a home store that we got a couple years ago. And we welded them together. We've got our main run here. We'll be able to put a tarp on top of that for winter time. And then we've got our... Hi, Tara.
Hi. Somebody took my peg.
Oh, it's up here. I hung it there.
Thank you.
We need a.
This is goat proofing.
We need a peg holder. So Tara just drilled a hole through. Yeah, well, it was on there, but then it fell off, so it didn't work too well. So in this area here, which is where the geese and the rabbits are during the, somebody's hot. He's got his wings out. During the winter months, we now have the boys enclosure, the male rabbit enclosure, and the female rabbit enclosure. So that's the outside area. We got these bins donated to us by a neighbor. Wonderful. Thank you very much. I think it was Peter. So this is the boys' inside area. They're lounging. And of course the girls are lounging in here as well. So that is the girl area. So they've got lots of room now. And they've got their outdoor patio, which I'm sure they love. They are out quite a bit, enjoying the out of doors and trying to dig. But we've actually put down patio blocks and wire, so they can't. So this is the new area. What do you think of it? Okay, I'm going to pull out Tara's pin. This is, because the door is slightly warped, and it's just to secure it from animals on this side pushing through. So then we just kind of reach through and grab this. And here we go. Here is, as I mentioned, the male enclosure for the rabbits. There's two different aviaries here. There is this section here that encompasses this. You can see the door into the other one, and then this walkway. Now, when we originally moved our mobile home onto the property and we built on this building here off of the back of it, we didn't line up that rabbit hutch with, of course, the building. And who does that? But now, as things get built on and move out, you can see it doesn't quite line up. But we made it work. So on the other end of the Avery here, the outdoor run for the chickens, we still have to get a proper connection for this. But there's fencing over there. So a cedar fencing, we had that donated years ago. And we took a couple of the pieces and cut them up and made them one, and that's the back enclosure. Now the ponies, miniature horses, and our male intact goats are on the other side of that in the front area. And we wanted to make sure that this was a solid barrier, because if they're able to look through and see the girls through the fencing, then they're gonna go in that direction. And we had that happen with Billy a couple years ago. And he was the instigator of these renovations, I guess we could say. So in that pen is the guinea keats, the little ones, and then the bantam hens. And in this area here, of course, are the guineas. The guineas aren't very broody, so we gave the job to the broody hens. And we just collect the eggs, and we've got 3 broody hens that we're using on that side. So they couldn't be bothered. We've gone and with old material, some old steel and some old wood, we built these little awnings so that if it does rain, it's not going to go in there. Also, in the winter time, when it's fairly mild out, we can leave the door open and they can come out with any kind of snow going in or also it'll keep it clear in this area. So this one over here is a little bit longer. It covers the water because the sun coming down onto that water, automatic waterer, warms it up and it promotes green algae from growing. So we wanted to cover that, and we'll likely do the same or something similar with this one here. So that is it. That's the outside run. It's like 95% complete. We just have a couple little things to do here and there. Look at those guys. All the little guinea keats finishing off the melon. So it was quite the production earlier in getting them out. In the far pen, the smaller one, where the guinea keats are, nobody wanted to go out, and we recorded it. We were like, oh, let's record this. They're gonna come barreling out. They're gonna love it. You know, just like water over a waterfall. No, not a chance. Nothing. Tiana was inside trying to even get them out, and they didn't even want to come out. So we decided to abandon that plan and move over to the other area, which I set up some cameras, and there was no problem. As soon as Tiana opened up the door, they came flooding out. You know, they did want to get out, and those are the guineas and the hens without the babies, and maybe that played a part of it, so not quite sure. So what are we doing, Tara?
Come on, Pacas! The boys are gonna
Pacas are eating, and the pigs...
Waiting on the boys.
Waiting on the boys.
Fernando, stop.
Oh, yes. Okay, speaking of the boys, you'll see there are only two. So we had the other three, which is Sunny, Amia, and Jojo. They headed off this week to a neighboring farm. Now we had been we had been planning that for some time because, you know, we can only have so many animals, and we want to make sure that there is room for other animals to come in.
With the camera.
Fernando.
Look, show him the camera. He's bugging me.
Yeah, see, this is what he does. Look at him.
He's friendly to all you guys. But he has been
the hand that feeds him,
aggressive.
Yeah. He's like, I want food. I want food. Okay, you're gonna get it.
He nails you when you're not looking.
He'll jump up and jump at Tiana. It's, you know, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Yeah, Fernando, he doesn't bite, but he jumps up and he scrapes you, demanding food.
It's the sound he's making too.
Yeah. That's his whining sound.
There's food! I promise you, it's out there.
Anyway, what I was saying was the three male alpacas, those three, went over to a neighboring farm, actually not far away from here, and it was a great fit. So we watched for that to rehome the animals. The 5 alpaca came in. We were planning on separating in pairs, either 2 out or 3 out, because we wanted to keep at least a pair together. So we decided to keep Java and Jasper. And it's easier to remember the names too. So we do have some other animals coming in, possibly this weekend, but likely more so next weekend. So stay tuned for that, and we'll keep you updated. So an update on Glenn and Boo. So we have moved them from the other pen, the young pen, the specials pen, into this pen. So Boo here hasn't quite figured out that he's a goose, but you know, that may come. Then again, we have Bubba, which is right here, which is a Pekin duck, and he thinks he's a goose. So yeah, it's kind of strange when you have all the animals in the yard together, and whoever they grow up with, they tend to think that they're part of their group. So I did notice with Glenn, his pinwing is starting to kind of show again, so we'll likely need to do something with that. What we did last time is we tucked it underneath and we put on a hair elastic, fairly loose, not tight, just enough that it keeps it up and keeps it trained. So Glenn is still young, and this is the time to do it. So, but you can see those feathers kind of poking out, also known as angel wing or pinwing, those two. So a few of the other animals that left this previous week were two that actually came in together, Tulip and Daisy. The two of them came in together last year, and we wanted to keep them together. They are bonded together, and we found a great home for them. And again, it is local. So the alpaca went to one side of town over that way, and the sheep went on the other side, or vice versa. One of the two anyway. But they did go to a good home. We loaded them up. I didn't have my camera with me on that. You know, sometimes I forget, but they did go over with a nice homesteader, a nice little family, and we heard back from them that, wow, are they ever friendly? And they are. A lot of the animals here are friendly. And that's kind of one of our goals, is to take animals in. Those ones were friendly when they came in, but sometimes they're not so friendly. And then we incorporate them into our herd. We have people from the public that come and visit, and the animals over time start to get more comfortable.
Daisy was born on April 23rd, 2018, so she's 2. And Tulip was born July 9th of 2019, so she's 1. You know what? You'll never meet 2 sheep that are more like pets ever.
Do you keep their collars on all the time?
I did, because they were loose on the property.
Oh, right.
So if I had to catch them to put them away at night. But usually they just came, so
Yeah.
you could take them off.
I'm not a collar person.
Sheldon, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Look at that tail wag. The fur is up. He is excited. Oh yeah, there he goes. The tongue, no, any tongue? Usually his tongue's sticking out when he gets excited. Yes, you're a silly boy. You're a silly boy. So Sheldon, if you haven't been watching us, is our special needs goat. Autistic is kind of what we think he has in that autism range anyway. He couldn't walk, couldn't stand for probably a week or 2 anyway. We had to hold him up, bottle feed him. You can always go back and watch Sheldon's story. And I've taken a bunch of clips of how he came to us. He was born here on the farm. Blackie was his mother, and we pulled him and bottle fed him. Now some of the other animals here, Onyx. You may have seen on watching our Facebook page, Onyx had a little problem earlier in the week, and I noticed that Tara has disassembled it. So there is she had the what do you call that? The picnic table steps. So there were 2 of those and then a board, and she had them over here in this area. And what happened was, Onyx decided that, you know, she was just munching away at the ground and wandered underneath and came up in like a triangle in the middle and couldn't get out. So I did come out and take a little video, and this is what I posted on Facebook. Onyx, are you having problems? You appear to have gotten stuck. All right. I'll save you. Let's see, this is all screwed together. So I guess we're gonna have to lift it up from here. And you will then go underneath. No, the other way. Okay, well, you can go that way too. How long have you been stuck in there? Oh, and you had to pee too. So the other 2 that are up here is JJ. Actually 3, I should say. JJ, which is a lamb that came in probably, I want to say 2 to 3 months ago now. And then of course we have Moira, which is a Shetland sheep. And she is, I'm not entirely sure, about 12 years old. Sheep live in the neighborhood of about 15 years. She is getting older. She's a small breed, a Shetland breed. And then we look over to JJ, which is probably larger than Moira at this point. So you can kind of get an idea of the size difference. So Moira will likely live out the rest of her life here. She is, you know, her eyesight's starting to go. And she's comfortable in her surroundings now. Sheldon sometimes bothers her, but then sometimes they're seen playing. So JJ and Willow, which is over here, right next to Onyx. Those ones came in, as I mentioned, 2 to 3 months ago, and they were purchased by somebody who thought they were really cute and wanted sheep, live in the country, but then realized after she purchased them that she travels for work. So the water in our pond. Now we haven't had to add any water to the pond. If we were to do so, I've mentioned this before, there's a shallow well that's about 10 feet deep here, and it just pulls off the water table. We haven't really done much with that. We haven't really got a whole lot of rain, but what we have has kind of kept it up somewhat. You can actually see on the edge of the pond at the liner, it should be about halfway up that drain-in pipe. So it's a little bit below that. As long as the water is moving, this is actually duckweed, so it's not algae. So the ducks and the pigs do eat that, and which you can see they're drinking and possibly eating some of it, those Muscovy down there. Now the rock that is right in front of the ducks, actually, that is the height of the water. So when the water is completely full and overflowing into the trench, this rock will be just submerged under the water. We didn't plan that, but it worked out perfectly. So you can see we're probably about 7, maybe 8 inches low. But that's fine. The pond is lined. If this liner wasn't in place, like years gone by, there would be no water here, absolutely none. There would be some just in the end, the deep area here. Like the year we installed the pond, there was just a small little muddy cesspool down at the bottom. So there's a little pond update. So another animal that was actually not rehomed, but well, in a sense it was released. So it was probably, well, it was a month or two ago. It was a rabbit, a little bunny that came in, sole survivor of a nest. I believe the nest and mom was raided by a dog, and there was one little bunny left over. So that rabbit was brought in here. We nursed it, we fed it, we used goat's milk. Goat's milk is kind of our go-to for any animal needing bottle feeding, just because it's higher in protein and fats. So it's kind of the go-to. If you talk to your vet, actually, I had a phone call today. Somebody called asking if we had goats and then asked if we had goat's milk. And I said, well, we don't have fresh goat's milk, but we do have powdered goat's milk that we use for our animals. And apparently they had a puppy who I'm guessing has lost their mother, quite a large puppy, a large breed of dog. And their vet said to use goat's milk. So she was calling around. So I haven't heard back. She was going to check with the guy who owns the dog. She was kind of making the phone calls. So I'll wait to hear back, and then we can offer her that and then tell them where to pick it up. But it's nice and easy. It's powdered milk. You just mix it as you need it, right? Okay, so the animal was the rabbit. Now, I completely forgot about this because Tiana had recorded a segment, and then in pulling some other footage off of that camera, I noticed it was there and I hadn't let you know about it. So if you're wondering about the little rabbit, the rabbit was released over underneath that shed. And that shed was actually the first building here on the property. It was originally down at the barn. We have relocated it next to our driveway, and there's a hole at the bottom of it, and there are often rabbits seen coming and going from that. So we thought that was the best location to release our little rabbit friend. So coming to the back section of the Avery, this is what we've done here. So we built a frame that extends out with 2x4s that are 10 feet. And then we've put the netting over top of there. So on this side, this is the cedar fencing that was donated. So this is, I think it must be an 8-foot because this is a 10-foot board. And then we had to cut up a piece to make it form fit into this area here. So the male goats, or intact goats up front here, won't be able to see what's going on. So it's kind of a visual barrier. Yeah, these two here, so this is cheese, right?
Yep.
and then an unknown female. This female doesn't have a name, does it, Tara?
No.
No. So throughout the day, as we were constructing this fence, these guys kept coming up and wanting to go into the building. And what they do is they walk around the house and down the driveway, and they come up here, and then they want back in. So there we go. Tara's opening the door. But they'll end up back here once again. Like this is, I think three, this is the third time. And there's the food. Yeah. So they're like, oh yeah, it's food time. Okay, so pigeons. So we have, this is a male pigeon up here, one of the alpha males. And the alpha female is in a nest inside the rabbit hutch area. And he is just kind of keeping an eye on the little one. So they have made a nest up on top of this bale here. We can get up here and take a peek. Yeah, I'll have to pull the camera off and go in. So there is, there's the little one right there. So usually they have two, but I guess there was only one here. So the female, Tiana says that she is two-timing, so she's got, yeah, whoops, that was not secure.
No, it is not.
Yeah, pay attention, right guys? So apparently she was two-timing and has another guy on the side. And she's made a nest with him in the rabbit hutch area. Hi boys, I'm just coming in for a minute. Yep, and she is actually up here. I don't want to scare her, but she's sitting on some eggs right in there. So they've got their nests, and they generally they stick to this area in here. There are some in the shelter area, but because of the hay and because of the shelter, a lot of the birds, even wild birds during the winter, tend to migrate into this building because it's a nice shelter with lots of feed and lots of hay. Wow, look at that green grass. And then look at the yellow dead grass that's everywhere else. The reason why this is so green is because this is actually a raised septic field. So it has water from the septic field. So there's lots of nice grass in here. Last week I made a video on the Gallagher smart fence. And the plan is to run a temporary fence from that electric line over there and run it right through over to this section here. So then we'll let, mainly I think our intact goats. The ponies, they will probably let in as well, but you gotta have to watch with ponies because they can founder fast. They eat a lot. And then they can develop fat, and they develop foundering issues, usually in their ankles. They get swelling, and they just put on too much weight, which is unhealthy for them. So you want to monitor that. So, you know, for an hour or so, it looks like they're up front. I see Meadow. She is right there. And the boys are probably further up. I see Daisy. I can kind of see Levi is right up there. Daisy's right here. So they're up doing their evening graze. This area up here, we want to clean up. We've done the back area. It's just all the deadfall from the beginning of time, essentially. When we bought this property, it was fully treed, and these poplar tend to grow up and then just fall down. So it's taken time, quite a few years, and what we've been doing, there has been a section here that's been done fairly recently, and you can see how it's all nicely cleaned up, and then there is piles of brush. So instead of burning it, of course there's a ban on now, we don't want to burn it. It makes a nice, you know, little area for animals like rabbits and chipmunks and all those little guys. Give them some area to live and shelter, of course, during the winter months. There are some nice oak that grow here as well. So those ones tend to hang around a little bit longer than the poplar which you can see this one's kind of dead, and then this one's got not much of a top to it. And then we've got all of our Manitoba maple that is over there, and we've got our silver maple. So we're diversifying our property. This one here is Plains Green Ash. And when we got them, we had a bunch of them left over, and we were kind of done planting, so we shoved the rest of them in the ground here. So that's why we've got multiple that are coming out, which is good because our intact males, our goats, tend to really bash up the trees. So, you know, these ones closer to the electric fence are in a little better condition than the ones further in. So we are now back in the garden for the, for Tara's garden update. I just basically hold the camera, and Tara gets excited and goes around and finds all the new stuff growing. There she goes.
Oh!
See?
I broke it.
Oh, what is it?
It's a watermelon.
Oh no!
It's okay, it's got damage, so.
Looks like, oh, okay.
Wait. What? Oh, look at that one.
Okay.
No, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, don't touch it. Now, should you put something under it so that it's not directly on the soil? Would that not protect it?
I know you can, but
it can protect it from.
You want to move it slightly because you see how one side gets yellow.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to.
That's kind of my thought. Like, we were thinking about growing some of those square watermelons, and I looked into that. They're kind of cool, but the box, the contraption they have, looks pretty. It looks like you have to buy it. So maybe we'll do that next year. See if we can acquire one and try to grow a square watermelon. If you've grown a square watermelon, let us know in the comments, and let us know how it went for you and how you went about doing that.
I see a cucumber.
Yeah, we've gotten a few cucumbers.
Well, no, those are pickling cucumbers. These are full English cucumbers.
Well, it's a cucumber, right?
This is a pickle. Well, they're different, Mark.
I know.
Oh, lots of pickles. Look at that. I need a new pickle recipe, too. I'm looking for simple, no boil, but crispy. I want crispy pickles.
Okay, so if you have a recipe for crispy pickles, you can send it to Tara on Facebook. She manages the 10 Acre Woods Facebook account. If you don't have Facebook, then email it to us at 10acrewoods@anola.mb.ca.
I have never been able to eat these because you eat them before I can get them.
Oh, the cucamelons.
Yes.
Well, there's lots here.
I know. I'm snacking my way through.
You just have to get a stool and get them a little higher, because she can't reach those ones. There you go. There's a good one.
You're a foot taller than me.
Are you eating something?
No.
You are. I can tell you because you got your mouth full.
No, I'm not.
All right, so do we have any tomatoes that are ripening?
Sure.
Doesn't look like lots in here.
No, she disappeared.
Yeah, she disappeared into the...
Ooh, red one?
Yeah. Do you want it?
Yeah.
I'll give it up.
I like my tomatoes.
Just a little dusty.
Okay, so we've got the watermelon. These guys are starting to turn, so we're going to be getting lots of tomatoes in the coming weeks, I'm sure.
Tara's gonna get lots of tomatoes.
I'm gonna have to visit the garden. You know, maybe in the middle of the night I'll sneak out and see if I can evade detection.
This one is hilarious. It's like, it should be 14 feet tall, I bet. Wait,
wow.
Tomatoes?
Oh, I just smell like tomato.
Right?
Yeah. A couple cracked on me.
I'm seeing the peppers start to come. There's lots of flowers, so. Zucchini, look at that.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No, and the one down here, I can't even get down. So
Oh no.
I'll just.
Well, it'll be a surprise. Well, you could get down there.
Oh, I see quite a few on that one. Look at. Will the camera go down in there? There's quite a few on that one.
Is there? Oh, okay. I can see the flowers.
Sorry, there's a really nice red raspberry right beside you.
Is there? Oh, there's a few of them. There's one there. There's one. Oh, that one's not quite ready. There's a few of them around.
I was looking at the beets and trimming them,
Yeah.
right? And there's some pretty big beets in there. Okay, not there. Like, oh, where was I? Like, oh, and the yellow beets. Oh, right? Should we have beets for dinner? What are we having for dinner?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea.
Right? Okay, so let's see what we got.
No, that's a decent size.
Right?
I think it's the biggest beet I think I've seen you grow.
Shush. Okay, well that's not so much better. That's a little.
That almost looks like a giant radish.
These are yellow beets. Like,
Oh, okay.
they're a different type of beet.
What do you have growing on the end?
I want the. Ooh.
You got more beets? What's there?
Yeah,
Beets,
that's good.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You just gotta get past these little flies.
Yeah, the little flies. You disturb them. Then you inhale them.
There we go. Variety of beets.
Good, yeah, no, that'd be good.
The peppers. Look at these
You wanna have a
raspberries.
nice salad with the leaves?
Yeah, I'm going to totally have a whole beautiful harvest again of raspberries, but they'll be better because these are first year plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pepper flowers.
Okay.
Yeah, we did see them starting to flower. So
Right there.
yeah, they just need to start growing.
Oh, there's a full flower.
Yeah. Okay.
Full
good.
flower, baby flower.
Yeah. Get some nice hot peppers.
Oh,
Make
this
some.
actually has a little pepper on it.
Is it?
Yeah, I did see one with a little pepper.
Oh yeah, it's it's not much, but
You know what? You gotta try, right? You just gotta try.
yeah, huh? It'll come.
It'll come.
It'll come.
Do you want a salad for dinner?
Yeah, we can have some beet tops and some
Let's go
beets.
check out that one at the corner. I know we could take forever. The Swiss chard, we'll have to do a stir fry.
Yeah. And then these are more cucumbers, right?
Well, no, they look like zucchini.
Oh.
You know what? We're totally doing zucchini flowers though. I mean, zucchini flour. Because I love zucchinis, and you can do them so many different ways.
Yeah, so we're going to dehydrate the zucchini,
Zucchini.
and then we are going to grind it up into essentially a powder, which is a type of flour. So
What did you put here?
I didn't put anything.
That
I
looks
cut
like-
the top of a weed off because it looked cool.
that almost looks like more Swiss chard.
Yeah.
It's a surprise. So
Celery's coming back. Remember I said cut it off?
oh right.
So it's
Okay,
a whole
so
new.
yeah, so she harvested the celery and it's now growing back. So we're gonna head in and we'll have some beets and some salad and maybe put a few other things together.
Celery soup.
Celery soup, that sounds good. I like that. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click on that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to our channel, I encourage you to click on that subscribe button and join us weekly as we do weekly videos. Sometimes we put out an extra one from time to time. So until next video and next week, take care and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.